Hi everyone, I'm Guy Andrews and welcome to Guy's Garage. I have the Hyundai i30 Sedan N. So if you're watching from the US, it's called the Hyundai Elantra N, or the Elantra N. So yeah, we just call it in Australia, we just call it the Hyundai i30 Sedan N. So we're going to go around with my headgear on. I'm going to do a POV today, so I'm going to go around the body and check out the styling. We're going to go through the interior, going to go for a drive, get the impressions of how it drives. With the 2-litre facelift engine, the higher output engine with 206 kilowatts and about 385 odd newton meters of torque. The DCT is mated to this engine, so it's got eight forward gears and really crisp shift, and it's all warranted for track use as well, which is a really nice thing to know when you do push the car hard, that it's all designed to handle that. But let's get this headgear on and have a look at it. So here I am, rolling. Check it out. It's not exactly easy to do, but bear with me. So guys, the Elantra, the Hyundai i30 Sedan N, I got to say, it's very angular, and it's got some, for me, it was very polarizing in photographs. I saw the car. Obviously you've got, let's go from the front here. Quite aggressive styling. I actually I like it personally. It's just making a statement. So many cars in recent years have just been a little bit too careful, a little bit too cautious. So I do enjoy that. It's aggressive. It's there for a purpose. There's good ventilation through here. There's vents that actually work that go into the brakes. It's got its own sort of little splitter system going on here in the front, which I kind of like. And then as we walk around, we see the big brakes. These are the upgraded 360 millimeter brakes with still the big single piston caliper, but they work well. I do think these wheels look a little bit, I like them, but they do remind me of a stained glass window at times. So be interesting to see what they look like. I might put my Enkies on this car and see what it looks like. There's one thing that I've noticed, if you approach the car from this angle, the gap here in the bonnet, once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. So gap here, I don't know, maybe it's there to vent some of the heat out from under the bonnet. It might be a practical purpose, but I've just noticed that as you're moving along the car, very angular, like this. Actually got these triangles in the side of the car. I mean, I have seen plenty of cars in the last 20 years that just have that bland, flat edge. So, good on the designers for actually putting some angles into this sheet metal to make it a little bit more interesting. Then a nice little stepped out side skirt here with the red highlights. We're all putting side skirts and body kits on our cars, and so Hyundai have sort of done it for you. Moving along the car, this is a section here that I find a little bit hard to live with. It's this shiny piano black vents. It sort of almost reminds me of one of those old XJ Jaguars that won Bathurst. Although when I did Google a photo of it, it looks nothing like it, but for some reason it made me think about it. Very slopey rear window, almost hatchback. It's a little bit like, I guess it's like the Stinger, Kia Stinger. I'd love to see this car in a 2-door with a longer door, hatchback like that. They would look pretty cool. Got this sort of old school, gives me a bit of an old school vibe, add-on spoiler at the rear, which I don't hate. One thing I find a little fussy is all these lines and all this stuff through the back of these lights. I mean, the lights themselves are quite good, but I think maybe just a little less is more. Might have been good there. Again, angular features. Kind of got a splitter through the middle. Got this cool little center light. The exhausts are oversized exhaust, but you can see the standard exhaust inside. It's just a small, so these are just a little add-on there. It looks good, but they're not actually real. So yeah, but overall, I got to tell you, you go back to this camera, and I look funny. I didn't think I'd like this car as much as I like it in the flesh. So when you see it in the flesh, it's actually quite a handsome car. The feeling that I got driving it was that I'm doing okay. I'm moving up in the world. And then I dropped the kids off at school this morning and driving along, feeling good about myself. And I look in the mirror and there's a lady driving a Taycan S, which is worth $400,000. So I'm moving up, but not that far. Anyway, let's get inside and have a look at the interior. All right, let's have a look inside. So straight away, hopping in the car, you can see that it's a nice leather interior. Although I think it's fake leather, but that's good. Good for the cows, good for the vegans. I'm going to turn it on, it's quite warm out there. All right, so the first thing I've noticed jumping in these later model Hyundais, let me just get this all under control here. These later model Hyundais, they have the big LCD screen, so you've got the, I think they're 10.25 inch screen in front of you here with the digital, analog style digital dash, and then your big screen over here, another one. It's got all your Apple CarPlay. You got to plug that in. The interesting thing is it must have been designed by some guys that are over 50, because you put it in reverse and the sound goes down so you can see better. That's definitely something an old person would do. So moving along, we go into N mode here on the screen. It's touch screen, and there's plenty of manual buttons, and the aircon's all controlled by normal buttons, which I like. We've got lap timer, we've got custom mode, so come back to the steering wheel here. You've got your custom one, which your cool dash comes up, so you've got a center taco, or taco as the Mexicans like to call it, and then custom 1 and custom 2. So this one's set up, I've set it up to hold down custom 2 to turn off everything, all the stability control, brake assist, all that, it's all turned off in custom 2 for me. So it's cool. You've got the circuit option on this one, so you click on circuit and it brings up nearest circuits. It's only got Sydney on at the moment, but I believe there's an update now. I've actually seen someone's footage of Lakeside in Queensland, which is cool. Oil temp, engine temp, brake pressure, lap timer, all that good stuff from the N division. So yeah, that's all pretty good, but we've got a nice leather. What I want to talk about is the familiar touch points here with the steering wheel that we're used to from the previous models, and the N controls. This one's got the N grin shift, which gives you a 20-second extra boost, bit extra power. Try and use that at the track. I like this Jesus bar here, this Jesus Christ handlebar over here that the passenger can hang on to, but driving, I like to just put my elbow down here and my hand on this bar. It's actually really nice. It's a real driver focused cockpit. Enjoy sitting in here, and it feels like it's all about me, and you know, we're all narcissistic at heart, and I kind of like it. And the actual they've tried to do a little bit of work in this model with some of the plastic, so there's a little bit better feeling dash. There's still some scratchy stuff around, but I mean, it doesn't bother me. I mean, really, for the price, the seats are quite adequate. They're nice, perforated. The driver's seat is actually ventilated here. You can see it's heated and ventilated, so if you do rip one off and you hit that fan, you can, oh, it's nice, but you can certainly Dutch oven yourself, so just be aware of that. Handy little tip for young players. But you know, the blue stitching, the N theme throughout the car, it's just a clean, nice car. You've got this piano black stuff, which may or may not date. One thing about the interior is this little fake, I don't know if you can see that or not, this little fake circle thing here. It's kind of, it doesn't do anything. It's like it's waiting for someone to put a turbo gauge or something in there, but it's kind of weird. But anyway, I might put a little cross on there and put some photos of WRXs or something on it. So yeah, so let's go for a drive, and I will talk about the driving feel of the car. Alright, we're underway. Just got a few cameras and bits and pieces to sort out, and I've got rattly stuff in the back. I apologise in advance for the sound of my tripod. That's what she said. This car is very quiet, actually. It's quite civilised. So the thing about this Sedan N, for me, I like a sporty drive. anyway, and it is a little firm even in normal mode, but I mean, tell you what, it does not bother me in the slightest. I love that sort of purposeful feel, and then when you do put it into the N mode and it firms up even more, you know, it's even more fun to drive, and that's what these cars are all about. So if you're looking for a taxi ride, you know, maybe just get the regular old i30, but the N model is certainly for driving pleasure. But what they've done with this car, what I want to talk about is all the list. There's a long list of modifications that they've made, or improvements they've made to this Sedan N. Starting from the front, I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but they've stiffened up the struts. Certainly the tops of the struts are much stiffer. They've changed a bit of the ventilation with the brakes. They've got some little ducts that duct air into the brakes. The steering rack motor's been moved, centralised to make the steering have less torque steer. So it's definitely, all those little things are noticeable, and as you move back through the car, obviously you've got the DCT gearbox, which is the same as in the Kona and in the hatch, and just a brilliant little gearbox, and it's designed and cooled to be warranted after being used on the track. So that's always a great feeling when you do go and do some track days. The steering is something that it gets overlooked. Well, I'll come back to the diff, but the steering is something that these cars, a lot of people don't mention, but they've done such a great job tuning this electronic steering. It just has a really nice weighted feel to it, and as you click it into the N mode, it gets a little heavier, and you just feel connected through the steering of this car. So they've put a lot of time into that, and it gets overlooked a lot in reviews. But the E-diff again makes an appearance in this car, and it's just a sensational bit of kit. A mechanical limited slip differential that's actuated by little electric motors that take all the sensors, like the turning, the yaw angle, the turning, the throttle position, the mode that the car's in, to apply the power or the torque of the wheels to different wheels, or wheels with grip. So yeah, smart little diff. Starting to rain a little bit. I'm going to go into some hills here, so it'll be a good chance. This car comes standard with the Michelin Pilot Sport tyres, and they're probably pretty good in the wet. So I'll go to N mode, and the flames on the dash come up, and it tells you that it's ready to do some naughty things. And that sound is nice. It's the cold startup sound is going to wake up the kids. So if you've got a job that you leave it before everyone wakes up, like I do, they're going to hate it. But it's got some nice predictable understeer at the limit, which is what you want. You don't want the car stepping out on you. Crackles. This trail braking through this corner. Just see those front wheels just complaining a little bit, but that's more of the tyre than the suspension. The car is so settled. Let's give it a little boot through here. Down over this bridge, over a couple of bumps, see what it does. Alright, that is... This thing is going to be quick. So I've got to get this thing to the track. We're on track. We're at Lakeside. I've got an M2 competition and a GT R33 in front of me with some serious rubber on them. I have my Nankang CRS tyres on this Sedan N. It's a loaner car from Hyundai. Thank you very much, Hyundai. And let's see if this Sedan N will get anywhere near my superb little pre-facelift i30N hatch, which has a rear seat delete and a racing seat in it, so it's a little lighter. Just got to check out what the grip levels are like today. There's been a little bit of rain. Alright, here we go. It's definitely more power. Just take it easy through here for the first time. So much easier with the DCT, just to flick it up a gear. And grin shift on. That makes more sense. Now this car is good. I'm actually coasting at the moment behind this GDR 33. You guys are holding me up. Seeing how much brake there is first. Oh, that's nice pull out of there. So much more grunt off the bottom. In grin shift. It's not that quick. Should be quicker than that. But first session, I've got to get used to this thing. It's got some potential. Lateral grip's amazing. Yes, I'm going to change my line through there, I'm getting sent. Guy doesn't get out of the, maybe gets out of the way. Only 62s. Surprised. Track must be slow.